What if the answers you're searching for are already within you? Here at Richer Within, we believe they are, and we're here to help you discover them. I'm Kathryn, joined by Dynamo Dr. Pat. Together, we blend science and spirituality to guide you in reconnecting with your inner wisdom and unique magnificence. Tune in for inspiring stories and practical strategies to boost clarity, embrace your worth, and spark meaningful change. Ready to unlock your inner wealth? Start your transformation now.
Hi, everyone. We have a great show for you today. This is so cool, right? I get to join Kathryn to do this show, and I'm always amazed at what Kathryn shows up to talk about. Today, we're talking about you are the party. And this is a broader conversation than you may think. Just remember that phrase. You are the party. Kathryn, this is such an important energy right now. Thank you for taking this topic on. Um, you know, every one of us has something that comes in our mind, that comes in our field. Can you talk about what this was for you, where you're just saying, unlike that old school song, it's my party, right? But this is about you are the party. Talk about that for a minute. And thank you for picking this topic.
Well, thanks for having fun with it with me. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Just a couple weeks ago, this came up for me. I was headed for a friend's birthday party, and I could see the party happening half a block away. They were all under this covered area outside of the restaurant, and I was noticing who was there and kind of who wasn't there, and some people that I didn't know, and see people I wasn't quite sure of. And I started going, I'm not too sure about this, and I'm not that great in crowds, and I'm kind of tired. I hiked all day and I'm not sure this outfit is right. And I literally felt my body start to shrink. I literally felt like I was getting smaller. And in that moment, I caught myself and went, wait a minute, wait a minute. I am the party. All right. I remembered I am the party. I am the party. So what does that mean? I said, okay, mindset. I choose to show up as graceful. I choose to show up as open. I choose to show up as curious. I choose to be open to having a better time than I even imagined. I give myself permission to be me. I know how to be here. I am the party. And I grew another 3 inches and I went to the party and I had such a great time. I met new people. I got to speak with the people that I didn't know very well, and they were wonderful. And it was so much fun that I didn't want to leave, but I had a dance party to go to. And it was so fulfilling. The host actually had a birthday cake for all of us. So
Wow.
I did get to have my cake and eat it too.
But what you describe so often is like a metaphor for life, because how often do we either not do something or contemplate it beyond the point of being on time to do something? Now, that's a different version of procrastination, I think. There's procrastination because whatever, but then there's the avoidance procrastination, right? How did you overcome that? Because that's big for me too, boy. People don't
Mhm.
get that I'm like a super introvert. So going to a
Mhm.
party, it's
Mhm.
like I'd rather sit in my closet and be on my tablet.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's remembering that I am not dependent on external circumstances to have the experience that I want to have wherever I am. So rather than relying on, okay, who's at the party? Who's not at the party? Right? Am I dressed well enough? Am I going to fit in? It's more about bringing ourselves first, bringing myself first to the party, bringing
Yeah,
yourself first to the party.
yeah.
How do you want to show up? Do you want to be a little mischievous that night at that party because you're feeling a little a little of that resistance. So it's really about that practice of flipping. When we want to have an experience other than we're having, well, then what do we want to have? How do we want to show up? Right? And I understand what you're talking about because there's parties that I've been to and I come home and I'm like, why didn't I dance?
Yeah,
Right? Why didn't I approach that person that seemed curious about me? Why? And it's a great place for reflection because it's how willing am I to be, man, to just love myself enough to show up just as I am, regardless, and be able to go with that flow.
yeah. And part of this is what we tell ourselves, right? I was listening. I do a lot of listening because I'm a work in progress. So I have to listen. I be reminded of different things. And, one of the things that we do, we're great in talking with ourselves, but how great are we affirming ourselves? Like, I don't want to go to the party because I look too fat. That one is been measured by society. That's like the number one statistic about
Mhm.
why people don't do something. Now, it doesn't just mean that. It's body image, right? So we will
Right.
cut out an entire event that we could have fun. But what if we were just us? What if you could just be yourself?
And that's the ticket. That is the ticket. It's our authenticity. And in my mind, that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
Because, you know, I am here, you are here, everyone who is listening, we are 14 billion years in the process of being us. And there will only ever be, I mean, think about that for a second. Really, 14 billion years of evolution. That is what we are.
yeah,
And we only have one chance in this physical form to experience this life, for life to experience itself through us. And so it is about embracing ourselves with that loving compassion. And that acceptance gives other people permission, right? To be fully accepting of who they are. And it's thank you for bringing that up because it is the the number one the number one thing that people often bring to me in
yeah,
one-on-one sessions, it comes down to self-worth, self-love.
yeah. And sometimes we just need a small course correction to at least say, I am going to go to the party. It doesn't mean you're going to go to every single party that shows up for you. But when you realize you are the party and it's not controlled by whether or not there's cake, here's something you'll laugh about. We have a line dancing place like maybe 2 miles down the road. And I love the whole line dancing thing, believe it or not, true confessions. I'm really a pretty good two-stepper, right? So here's my big reason for not like signing up and going. And I mean, I even got Linda to say, you want to go learn line dancing, right? It's amazing. Uh, I don't have my dancing boots anymore. I left them back and said, okay. Do you believe that that's going to be my reason right there for not going dancing? Can you believe that? Now you know this and I know this. Do you think, Kathryn, that that's what it's really about? My boots.
Yeah. And that's where we get to be compassionate with ourselves and
Hmm.
ask ourselves, so what's behind the boots?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And this is for all of you out there because this is a message that strikes home quite a bit. And we've become so normalized to this. We've become so normalized to not being the party
Hmm.
that there are so many things we compromise on, right? So if people are thinking, I don't know, do I really want to say I am the party? That sounds so selfish. I mean, did that go through your mind to get you out of there? Because that's not the first thing that hits me, but it certainly is an excuse for not to claim you are the party.
Hmm. And that's a good question. To me, it's if I were coming from an egotistical place, I would walk into that party and I would steal the limelight from the birthday man, right? I would do everything I could to be the center of attention. I would talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And I would not be paying attention to people's body cues. I would not, I would just want to be the center of attention no matter what. To me, that would be coming from an egotistical place. That to me is very different than showing up authentic. And there's something very magnetic about authenticity, and it
Yeah,
far outweighs charisma. People are drawn to authenticity. And so the difference between the authenticity and the ego drivenness, when I say I am the party, it's just remembering, you know what? I'm bringing my full self here.
yeah,
And I am going to take full responsibility for my experience here.
yeah,
That's the other part of it. I'm not grasping onto somebody else to make sure I have a good time or anything like that. It's the whole thing about I am richer within myself, and that's how I'm choosing to show up. It's a
yeah,
choice. Yeah.
yeah.
It's not a drive. It's a
It,
choice.
it's so interesting. So you went to the party. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you dance?
Well, they were dancing afterwards, but I was going to a different kind of dance after
Oh, right.
after that party. And oh yes, and I went and I danced my
No, look at you double booking. Very nice. But but you see, that's what I'm trying to say. To really muster up the energy around I am the party, it's so important. Let's take it to a bigger stage for a minute.
Mhm.
Because look, I'm around a lot of different business people, but I'm around athletes a lot. And I watch people looking at a championship type athlete and saying, "Oh, they're egotistical, they're arrogant." Well, I don't know that they are. I think that they believe they are the party and they show up as the party. How can we incorporate this in our entire life? Do you understand what I'm saying? How can
Mhm.
we take this and say, wait a minute, I'm not just a party at my friend's birthday, or I'm not the party at the line dancing place.
Mhm.
Can I be the party everywhere?
Mhm.
Right?
And that's the question. What if life is a party? And when I say party, I mean a celebration. What if it's a gift to be enjoyed? When we think of the emotional vibrational scale, every emotion carries a vibration. What's at the top? Bliss, peace, joy. Those are at the top of the vibrational scale. So what if we're hardwired for it? And when we're not in that state, we feel the dissonance because life wants to be joyful and expressive and expressing itself. And so there's everyday gatherings like you're talking about, Dr. Pat.
Yeah.
How are we showing up at the grocery store? Are we chatting with the person there? How are we showing up at work? How are we showing up in family situations? How are we showing up wherever we are at a basketball game, at a yoga class, wherever we show up? How about that?
Yeah.
I'd love to give you an example.
Yeah, please do.
Work, I know, can be a really challenging place to be in joy. And my first professional job was with a bankruptcy attorney. And I don't know how I got that job. I didn't really even know how to type very well. But uh, it was just myself and this bankruptcy attorney, on a floor of other attorneys. And this person was one of the biggest grumpaloffaguses I have ever known. He would come in the office, he would not say hello, he would harumph and then close his door. And then he would come out and give me work, give me a few instructions, and then he would go back in. And that's just how the day went. And after a while, I'm like, you know what? I'm not having fun. And I deserve to have a good time at work because I'm here 8 hours a day and I give it my all. So, what can I do?
Yeah.
What can I do? How
Yeah.
can I be the party? And what I did was I noticed that every day after he went out for lunch, he came back with a bag of those iced animal cookies. You know,
Oh,
those little miniature ice things with
yeah.
little cookies on top of them, and
Yeah. Know
closed his
know
door.
them well. I know them well.
That's what he had every single day. And so one day I got to the office early and I went into his office. I'm not sure I'd ever even been in there, but I went into his office before he got there. And I had bought a bag of iced animal cookies and I put them everywhere. I put them in his desk drawers. I put them on this ledge that he would open the curtains to for the view. I put them behind the curtains so when he opened the curtains, he would see them. I put them under his phone receiver when we had them. I'm dating myself there. But
Yeah.
anyway, and he came in the office, closed his door, you know, harumphed and closed his door. And then a few minutes later, I hear this. Rah, 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 rah. And then a couple minutes later, I'd hear this. Rah, 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 rah. That's how he laughed. I hadn't heard him laugh before.
Uh,
Rah, 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 rah. All day long. All day long. I don't remember if we actually talked that day, but the next day I got to my desk. I used to eat a grapefruit every day for lunch. There was a grapefruit on my typewriter.
oh my
There were
gosh.
grapefruits in my drawers. There were
Oh my
grapefruits
gosh.
everywhere you could put one.
Wow. He actually noticed you had grapefruit for lunch. Whoa. Right?
Yeah, right? So that changed
Mm,
everything. That changed everything. From then on, we had a great working relationship. We had fun together. And that's how
mm,
we can transform because I'm like, I'm not going to depend on him to be happy. And I can do something here. I'm going to
yeah.
bring a little party. I'm going to bring these party animal crackers and change things up a little bit.
Yeah. So let's help people do this because you have a way to do it and you incorporate that into your coaching platform and what you do. And for those of you out there, if you want to find out more about Kathryn, go to richerwithin.com. That's richerwithin.com. But you have a way that a great way that you help people shift that energy, right? Because that's what we're talking about. And don't you find that if you can stop it before it becomes a story, then it becomes an epic movie. And right, you see what I'm saying? So, how do you help people with this? Talk about the RAD approach.
Thank you for asking. It is one of my very favorites, quickest, easiest to remember, very effective. And it came to me in the course of doing this work play. And it's called Be Rad, Do Rad, right? Be radical in your joy, be radical in your living. And so the RAD is an acronym for three things. The R is for recognize, the A is affirm, and the D is for do. So in the situation of the party that I was walking into, I recognized because it's about awareness of what we're thinking and feeling in our bodies at any given time. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? And I recognize I'm shrinking because I'm thinking all of these negative thoughts and I haven't even gotten to the party yet. And I caught myself. I call that like, you know, when we're making pancakes in the kitchen and we leave something on too long and it starts to stink a little bit, right? It starts to burn. So what do? Flip it. We flip it to its opposite. This goes all the way back to the Yoga Sutras
Yeah, it
in
does.
terms of, right? From
Mhm.
flipping from negative to positive. And so, oh, how am I feeling? I am feeling insecure. Ooh, I know who I am. I am feeling shy. Ah, I'm choosing to be curious. And you can say out loud is really powerful. I choose to be. I affirm I'm in the right place. I affirm I belong here. I affirm I am the party. I affirm I know who I am. Whatever works for you that helps shift. And well, yes, I would say we feel it internally because these thoughts become chemicals, they come flow through our body, creates our vibratory field. And it's like a vibrational field clearing for ourselves, right? And
Yeah.
so those out loud affirmations. So recognize a stinky compassionately, flip it to its opposite, say it for affirmation. And then the do is do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it, right? And people say, oh, fake it till you make it. No, act as if it is.
Oh,
And
that's so important. The whole fake it till you make it thing is a little odd. I know that's a big thing in recovery, that term, but that never worked for me. And this whole thing about the dancing, I mean, I'm like started to invite a bunch of people. And then I'm like going to back out. Hello. But the mind works like this. It's like first it starts with the boots because I got my dancing boots up in Sturgis on my way through Sturgis, got two great pairs of boots. Oh my God. I don't have jeans that fit me now, Kathryn. Oh my God, jeans. I don't have the right. Okay, the right jeans to wear dancing. Are you kidding? Who cares? But you understand. And the mind, the heart, the heart
yes,
wants to go, and the mind will tell you,
yeah.
girlfriend, you ain't ready to go line dancing.
Mm-hmm.
The only lines you got are under your eyes. I mean, that's the way the dialogue goes, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
what comes after the worthy part? Because first, none of us like the way this feels, do we? But we stop there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We stop.
We stop. And the stopping is actually the first step because we can recognize, wow. I suggest placing, this is what I practice often. I place my hand on my heart
Mm,
and breathe into my heart space. The heart is the seat of emotion. And that's the place where we can shift it the most deeply
mm,
and honor our heart, honor our being. We get to love ourselves. We get to love ourselves and practice that. And the more we practice, the easier it becomes to do it. And
mm.
then we rewire our neural pathways so that the brain isn't in charge all the time. There's more of a conversation and communication between the heart and the brain because the heart's brain is much bigger than the one in our head.
Yeah.
And I also want to say you can leave the party if you want, right?
Hello.
Right? You
Right.
can leave. And if it's not serving and you've done all you can and you're like, this is just not what I'm in for, you can leave. And the other thing is, and for those of you who are listening and not seeing, I put on a beautiful tiara when I said I am the
Uh,
party. I'm going to take it off now
it's
and
beautiful.
just recognize that sometimes we just need to take off our party hat and have a good cry.
Yeah.
And that's okay too, because that is loving ourselves and honoring when we're in a space like that, because it isn't always easy.
Yeah.
And the more we practice our self-love and self-acceptance, the more willing we are to shift ourselves into, you know what? I'm wearing my tennis shoes dancing tonight. I'm going to put on a skirt I feel good in, and I am having a good time.
Yeah. And part of this too is incorporate the higher power side of this, the God of your understanding, the spiritual nature of things, because it is so powerful when we bring that in. It is the thing that, up until the 90s, I didn't get what that was. I really didn't. And my sobriety helped me, but spiritual practice in many traditions helped me understand the power. So, how can we help our people today? And how do they work with you? What's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me through richerwithin.com, richer as in richer for the experience, richerwithin.com. I'm also on Instagram and YouTube.
Hmm.
And would love to work with anyone who would like to, anyone, anywhere. And also, I'd like to offer an example of something that you can learn to do for yourself to tune into that deeper aspect of your being, your highest self. And so I'll just bring us right into that.
Hmm.
Thank you everyone for being willing, being open to being at this party today. And I just invite you to take a moment to settle in, receive a nice breath. If you're in a place to close your eyes, please do so. And I am just so incredibly grateful for the celebration that life is, to know that life is always lifing, and it is always creating, it is always exploring, it is always moving and dancing and in constant creativity. And it is this life that expresses itself in, through, and as everything, every speck of everything that we see, and even things that are unseeable. It is expressing in, through, and as this life, and as everyone, everywhere. And I know this is the truth of me. I know I am an embodiment of that life. And as I know this is the truth of me, I know it is the truth of everyone within the sound of my voice. Everyone is a beautiful, magnificent, whole and complete and radiant expression of that very power that creates worlds, that presence of energy that courses through their veins, that infinite wisdom and intelligence, and that love. We are embodiments of all of this. And so I just call forth a yes to embracing our beauty, our magnificence, our uniqueness. And as we do so, we step into every situation knowing that we bring our authentic selves to every celebration of life, to everything that we can see as a party, to every situation, work, dancing, yoga, driving, the grocery store, that we can be. And we choose to be and step into that living, that way of living in joy, which is our spiritual birthright. And I claim that for everyone right here and right now. And in gratitude to know this to be the truth of life and the truth of who we are and whose we are, I simply release this word, knowing it is creative power, letting it be, releasing it into that quantum field of infinite potential in that place that always says yes. It is already done in the heart mind of the divine. I simply let it be. And we allow it to be by joyfully saying, and so it is.
And so it is.
Yes, so it
Thank you,
is.
Kathryn, because it
Thank you.
is my party. Thank
That's
you so
right.
much for everything. For those of you out there, it's KathrynRicher.com. Get a hold of Kathryn, create the party of your life, and know that it is you. We'll see you all next time.
Namaste. Thank you for investing in yourself by listening to Richer Within with me, Kathryn, and Dr. Pat. Continue this journey with us every third Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. Feeling inspired? Visit richerwithin.com to explore one-on-one sessions, speaking engagements, and supportive services with me. Together, let's co-create a world that uplifts everyone through deeper living and conscious presence. Until next time, and always, align with your inner wealth of wisdom. Wow.